We're here at the Liberal Christmas party with Cornwall City Councillor Bernadette Clement. Bernadette, it was a tough first federal election for you. A lot of lessons learned. If you had to do it over again, was there anything that you might have done differently?
I think there are always organizational things that you hope had been done differently, a little bit more advanced work, outside of Cornwall. So those are things that I regret. But at the same time, seeing the result, I don't know if a lot of that work would have made a difference. I think that there was a real push towards the majority that we have. And
what was the biggest positive for you with this first real federal run?
The conversations I had, and the access to people's ideas and feelings about politics and about their community. It's always a privilege to be let into a person's front stoop and let into the front foyer and have these conversations about what they hope for their families and for the community. So that was the most wonderful aspect of this campaign.
Now, there was some buzz today about the Peter Newman book,
yes,
talking about the future of the Liberal, or the demise of the federal Liberal Party.
Yes.
Do you see a future for the federal Liberals, and what's your vision?
Well, definitely there's a future for the Liberal Party. I think there's such a rich history and tradition there that it's hard for me to conceive that it would go. But I think there are going to be some years of rebuilding of this party. And I'm going to read the book. I don't agree with the thesis, but I want to read it to see what things are touched upon. And I think that these things can be helpful for us in our analysis as to what happened and what we need to do to reconnect with communities. I think that's going to be essential.
Now, there's a lot of buzz also locally in SD&G and Cornwall in particular about your political future. You were rumored to be the MPP candidate instead of Mark MacDonald before. You didn't go through that, and of course you just had the MP candidacy. And you're a successful city councillor with a mayor that at an older age and with health issues might not be running again in Cornwall. There's a lot of potentials there. Where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
Well, we have a mayor.
Yeah, we do.
And he is
great
tough.
mayor.
He's tough.
Yeah.
And he's withstanding these health pressures quite well. And we are really still within our first year in the term. So I think it's really early days in terms of deciding or thinking about or even talking about what's going to happen beyond that. As for the MPP race, Mark MacDonald was the candidate, and I supported him in this provincial election. And I think that was it. I had made my decision some time ago to become the federal Liberal candidate, and I wasn't going to be doing any moving around. That's what I was going to do. And Mark was a candidate, and he ran hard. And it's a riding that's feeling a little bit conservative these days.
And at City Hall right now, you guys are, as a group, are under a tremendous amount of fire over the Diane Shea case, over the Paul Fitzpatrick story that's starting to really evolve and explode. As a councillor, you take the heat publicly for decisions that are made with city management. How does that impact you in your day-to-day? Do you have a lot of people coming up to you talking about some of these issues? Yeah,
I think most of us are having a lot of conversations. For the most part, people feel that we're dealing with it. We, as the public knows, we've had many meetings about this. And, I think what we're doing too is we're analyzing what's happened, what's gone wrong. That's the first thing that you should do so that you can make sure that it won't happen again, that your processes are in place, that they're improved, so that we don't have situations.
A lot of the public over these last meetings that were going on without public notice were very, very incensed and confused because the city clerk who's taking the hit for this, because of course it's not up to councillors to notify the public, has been there over 30 years. She's a very bright, articulate woman. We
have a wonderful city clerk.
We have a wonderful city clerk.
But right now, City Hall is a hectic place. We've had a very busy year, and we've had issues that we have to resolve. So we're going to do better. I'm confident.
Do you think that Mr. Fitzpatrick is going to survive this scam?
we're going to do better and we're going to be fine.
All right.
There's a solid, stable base within city management, and a solid council. The conversations that we're having are really productive. Everybody around that council table, including Mr. Mayor, we're bringing all of our skills, all of our engagement to that table. And, you know, it's difficult for us to meet privately. The public then doesn't get a sense of what those conversations are. So it's a hard thing for us to have to do as well. But I can say that in those meetings, the conversation, the level of the conversation is extremely high. The level of engagement is, quite frankly, stellar, the best that you could get. So I'm confident that we're going to be able to.
All right, thank you very much.